If this kid is in class, like middle school, and he's like, well, I feel like a woman, that teacher has full right to go to that parent and say, this is what he is thinking, and now it puts the kid in a more dangerous position, because what if the parent doesn't agree with that?
This is not privacy of the child. This is, should there be secrets between a teacher and a child that the parent is not aware of? And what I would say is, even if they're not a teacher, there should be no adult in the world who has a secret with my child that I'm not aware of.
If you allow teachers that are supposed to teach that they have secrets with your child, imagine what they can talk about.
Hello, so I'm not really in agreement with you, but I don't want to waste our time, and I don't want to misconstrue your point, so please stop me if I misconstrue you. Yes, ma'am. You said earlier about...
Misconstrue me, stop. Just kidding.
You said earlier about how what you say, the trans community is hiding truth, like the Daily Wire post where it's like, oh, a trans woman won the race, but it's like, oh, I'm a woman, so I should be able to be here. I want to know your opinion more about like your side of the party also hiding truth. Florida hiding race, like what you say, critical race theory, which is really just, oh, we can't talk about the Klan because it makes it look bad. We can't talk about this because it makes America look bad. I just want to know your thought process on that.
I guess I would need to know more information. I'm not aware of any rules in Florida that says you can't mention the Ku Klux Klan or you can't talk about race.
It's the blocking of critical race theory, and then also there's the Don't Say Gay Act, which is more about like, oh, just more about that. I just kind of want to know your thought process on that.
And I'm honestly not trying to put you on the spot or get some Matt Walsh destroys YouTube moment here. I just really want to know, honestly, what do you think the Don't Say Gay bill, the so-called Don't Say Gay bill, does?
Well, if you read it, it's more of an implyment that, okay, if this kid is in class, like middle school, and he's like, well, I feel like a woman, that teacher has full right to go to that parent and say, this is what he is thinking, and now it puts the kid in a more dangerous position, because what if the parent doesn't agree with that?
Yeah, well, there's a few things on that. First of all, that even if that was what the bill was, then that wouldn't be Don't Say Gay, because Don't Say Gay implies that you literally can't say the word gay in school, which is not the case at all. Second, what you're talking about, that's not the bill in Florida. There have been bills like that proposed in other states where schools have a duty to inform the parents if a child is gender confused or identifying as another gender in school. I fully support those bills. I think every school should do that. But in Florida, that's not what this bill was. The bill simply said that we're not going to have discussions about things like gender identity with kids in grades K through 3. So this is just saying if your kids are 8 years old or younger, that this is not a time to have conversations about transgenderism with them, which is something that, by the way, 10 years ago, and any time prior to that, almost everyone would agree. It would be insane to even talk about it. Of course we're not going to have that conversation. That's all the so-called Don't Say Gay bill did. To my mind, the problem with it is it didn't go nearly far enough. I don't think that these conversations should be had in school at all, because they're not academic conversations. They're ideological conversations. So I'm opposed to my side, as you say, hiding the truth if there were cases of that happening, but I don't think the cases that you've pointed out apply.
Do you feel that is an invasion of that child's privacy, though?
No, I don't think so at all. I don't think it is an invasion of privacy at all, because it's not privacy, right? This is an important detail about that child that the school and the teacher know, but are they going to keep it from the parents? So this is not privacy of the child. This is, should there be secrets between a teacher and a child that the parent is not aware of? And what I would say is, even if they're not a teacher, there should be no adult in the world who has a secret with my child that I'm not aware of.
Indeed.
That is never an okay thing, and that is always the setup for all manner of abuse of a child. Thank you.
Well said. So this young guy that again got some distorted information. That is how the media works nowadays. And he thought that the Don't Say Gay bill in Florida meant that children or anyone that is gender confused could not say that he is gay. The left is really good in language. So for example, I spoke in another video about Planned Parenthood that claims to plan the parenthood while they are killing the baby through abortion. And the same goes for the Don't Say Gay bill. it wasn't about the don't say gay, it was about that the teachers are not allowed to have secrets with the child that they're supposed to teach, and don't distort, don't confuse with all the gender nonsense. But if you allow teachers that supposed to teach, that they have secrets with your child, imagine what they can talk about, what they can do. And the danger about speaking of these things is that you start to lose your trust in teachers, because apparently if we see so many children joining the LGBTQ movement and being gender confused, you have to figure out that the confusion came from some place. So it could be social media, it could also be the teacher themselves that spend 8 hours or 7 hours a day with your child. So if your child is reflecting certain behaviors, it comes from some place, from some person. And as a parent, you have to find out where the confusion, the problem, the struggles, the whatever the situation is, you have to find out where it came from so you can work towards a solution. But if you cannot identify the issue, where it came from, then you cannot solve it. Knowing that when I'm talking about solving the confusion, the other side, the left, says, no, that's their identity. And then that's also a trigger like, hold up, did you just expose yourself? As a teacher, if you think that's your identity, then you are probably the one that is indoctrinating, is confusing my child into your worldview. And we know that that's a Gnostic religion, it's all about you finding your true self, about having the secret knowledge that you are something that you are not, clearly not, because you have your own DNA that proves that you are a man or a woman. The thing that you need to understand is that you always have a worldview. You always think through a certain kind of worldview. And if you reject a certain view, then you automatically accept another worldview. You cannot escape it. So for example, if you reject Christianity, that's your right, of course, but automatically you join another worldview. And then the same critique that you have for one worldview should be applied to another worldview. And I doubt if that's truly happening. If we talk about, a child knows what he feels, and, he feels to be something else. He feels like a woman, which is nonsensical, because if you talk about a woman, then you talk about a certain view of a woman, what a woman actually is. It's like a standard that you have, like this is an actual woman. But then you say that, well, the other thing is also a woman. Yeah, but what is a woman then? If trans people, if we again can call them trans, they are just confused human beings. But if we name those people that are confused and that are males but think they are females, if we then apply and say, no, we have this standard of woman, but now we say that the other standard, but clearly isn't a woman, it's a man, that there could also be a woman by taking a woman face. Just put high heels, female clothing, a lot of makeup, even female body parts, by medically restructuring your own body into something that an actual woman is. And then you think that you are actually a woman, but you are not a woman because your DNA tells you that you are a man. But, we should believe that story, they are saying like trans women are real women. If it's a real woman, then you don't need to put the trans label on it. Then a woman is obviously a woman. So the statements are also illogical. Trans women are women, Where to start, man? If it's a woman, then you don't need to add the trans name on it. And the DNA shows us, even the bones of people show us that it's a woman or it's a man. Whatever medical change we apply or whatever we do, it is still a man or a woman. That being said, if you go back to the Florida case, the Don't Say Gay bill, which wasn't about Don't Say Gay, parents should know the dealings of their own child. Who are they engaging with? Who are they talking to? Who will teach them? What will they teach them? What are they watching on social media? Those are important questions that parents need to know about their child. And it's wicked, it's evil if a teacher is abusing his authority, his beautiful role in society, that he could teach young children that are vulnerable, that needs to learn a lot of things, and indoctrinate those young children into an LGBTQ, another religion actually. The same goes for people that are on social media that have conversations with your child about certain topics that they're not allowed to talk about. For example, sexual topics. That's also wrong. So a teacher is not allowed to do that, but also other people, they shouldn't talk about sexual things behind your backs. You know, it's so crazy. This was all known, acknowledged and applied just until yesterday. And it's been a couple of years, I think something like 8 or 10 years. Insanity is running rampant throughout society. And it all started at schools. Marxist teachers, people that are in some way Gnostics, atheists, you know, they have some kind of divine knowledge, or they are just postmodernist. They know certain things, or they just don't care about reality. They say you can mold reality into whatever you think like or feel like. And then those people started to teach certain children into that fairy tale. And from generation to generation, now suddenly it's mainstream and people actually believe the nonsense that is being fed to them. But it only happens when you do away with God. If you do away with the objective standard of life, which God is, then other things come in their place. So you reject one thing, some other thing always creep in. And you have to be aware of that. And if you agree with that other thing, that's your point, that's your thing, follow your own fairy tale. But if you don't do that, if you still have God as your authority, as your objective standard, that is life himself, that defines what is right, what is wrong, and his nature reflects his goodness, and it will bring in the meaning of life. God himself is the meaning of life. Loving your fellow human beings is the meaning of life. That is what life is all about. And when you get older, the thing that you remember are the relationships, the things that you did with other people, the achievements that you made, the things that you overcame, the successes that you had, the love that you felt with your spouse or your children or your parents. You will lose all those things if you reject the absolute standard of life, which God is. And you are free to do that, but the consequences you have to face. But you cannot force me to believe in your fairy tale, into your story, into whatever you create or think that you can create. I still believe in objective reality. I still believe that what God told us, and God is the necessary being, he has to exist or life would be impossible. We cannot explain away everything. But that necessary being, which is love himself, which is goodness himself, he tells human beings how to live their lives. And we ought to follow that. But then again, he also gives us free will. And he, in his goodness, in his love for his creation, he gives us the space to accept him, to know more about him, to start to love him, or to reject him and create our own ways. But the people that follow him are not obliged to follow the rules, the nonsense that the rejectors of God, the haters of God, that they invent. It's also up to you what you decide, how you live your life. You're free to live your life however you want to. But you cannot force me to follow your path, just as I cannot force you to live through mine. Unless we're talking about things as objective reality, then there are no options but to take sides. You're either a woman or either a man. You cannot distort reality. We cannot abide by that. We cannot live with each other if we don't value language definitions. If you change definitions, if you change reality, well, if you think you can change reality, then we will have a clash and we cannot overcome that. That also sums up the cultural and religious clashes that we see nowadays between religions like Islam, Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, but also Gnosticism and also atheism. And then we have different cultures that are from different parts of the world with their own belief systems, with their own customs. And you have to live with each other and in a way respect each other and also let others live their lives in a way. And this exchange with Matt Walsh, a young man, I think he's a good guy. It's the same, different worldviews, different viewpoints of life. There were 2 points in the beginning of the video that I want to address real quick. First of all, the questioner asked about a trans athlete that won the race. I don't know which athlete he talked about, but I think he talked about Leah Thomas. You know, that's the female name, you know, but I forgot his other name. That won a race against Riley Gaines, that missed scholarships, that missed so many opportunities because a man felt like a woman, put a woman face on, and then swam at a female competition and won that race easily. And he took away the opportunities for other females. And it's so strange that feminists always talk about female rights. You know, we should defend females, and then they give it away so easily towards men that claim to be women. It's so strange that they just give up their cause and now even say that trans women are also women. It's just mind-boggling. But if that is your cake, you know, if that's the way you want to do it, you know, feminists, do whatever you like. But if we truly value women, if we truly see them for who they are, females, then we should not allow men to take their places and not let women compete against men. Men are physically stronger. They are differently built. It's in their DNA. It's no hate speech. It's not insulting females. Females can do so many things that men cannot do. But it is so wrong to let a woman compete against a man. And now female spaces are being taken by men that claim to be women. The second point that he brought up was about CRT, critical race theory. That is a racist worldview. You can sum up critical race theory in so many ways. James Lindsay once said that critical race theory can also be defined as call anything racist until you control it. So it's just a power play. It's a move to gain more power. You want more power so you can redirect, restructure society, and you can use the races of people. First of all, you don't see the character of a person, but you see the skin color, and you call it race. So if we see a person, then the critical race theorists would say, hey, I see a black person, while we would say, hey, that guy is talented at certain things, or hey, that guy has a good character. He's a loving guy, he's a faithful guy, you know, he's a nice guy. That is again an example of the cultural clashes or the academic, you know, the intellectual clashes that we have nowadays, where some people go back in time into segregation and they think that, you know, we should look for the simple characteristics like skin color instead of the character of the person, who the person actually is. And skin color doesn't need to be that important. You know, you're black, so you cannot succeed in life. What also is being sold to black people, what is just racist and even wicked, because you bring hopelessness into their lives. And that doesn't help them. They can achieve everything if they do the work, if they show that they are better. But if you take away that belief, then they will end up as victims and they will fulfill the stereotypes that are being said about them. And that is what we want to change. We don't want people to be victims. We want them to be winners. We want them to believe in themselves and not say like, because I am from a certain area, because I'm from a certain nation, because I have a certain skin color, then I'm a victim. I will never succeed in life. If you truly live that way, then you will become that. You will lose in life and you won't prosper. But then again, there could also be a tactic of certain people that want to rule over others. If you claim that people don't have the possibility to arise in society, which is nonsense of course, then you can portray yourself as the white savior. You know, I am the white liberal and I'm here to save you. And now thank me because I'm so good. And I take care of you like the white masters or the overseers in the slave plantations. Oh, did I just say something that I shouldn't say? That? Oh, I mean like I am a good guy, I'm a good woman, I'm a white liberal, you know. It's all nonsense, but that is in a way the viewpoint of certain people. And I've seen videos of liberals that really thought that black people succeeded in life because of them. And that is, in my view, such a racist notion that black people or brown people can succeed in life because of you, white person. I would say that no. They have more than enough in themselves to succeed. And if it's up to CRT, then people will fail. Or the other way is that they will gain power and they will destroy everything, the whole of society, by implementing socialism. And they can bring in equity, and they promise that everyone will be rich, everyone will have the amazing life, while we have seen in any communist country that everyone will be equally poor, equally hopeless, equally demoralized. That is their goal, to subdue humanity, to bring in something like a new humanity. And that is also what we see nowadays in books that are coming out. It is almost as if people want to replace God with mankind as God. We want to mix people with robots, use AI, build in super computers that will rule over us. That is the way we are heading. And I'm almost laughing, but it's so sad. It's so sad that people want to do away with God, objective reality, and create their own utopia, their own reality. And only self-destruction will be the end. But luckily, we are not there yet. We can still do so many good things. We can show that there is an objective reality, and we can point towards people that, no, you are a man and you're not a woman. No, you're a woman, you're not a man. Believe in yourself. Accept yourself first before you demand from us that we accept you. No, don't follow CRT. Believe in your own capabilities. Work hard for it. And if some people reject you, go to other people that will accept you. No one will meet any person that accepts them. There are always people that will reject you or me. But we should go to people that want to accept us, and they will accept us. And then you will succeed if you have the quality, if you work towards it, if you work hard, learn and be teachable. And when we protect our children against predators, if they may be teachers or people from social media that wants to bring in confusion into the lives of your children, if we oppose those people, if we show them that there is a better way of God, objective reality and true love, then there is still hope for the future. So that's the positive note of this video. Believe in yourself. Don't allow people to indoctrinate you or your children, and make the best of your life. Thank you for watching this video. If you found this video to be helpful and also valuable, then like this video and share it with your friends and family. Subscribe to my channel and put the notifications on. And I'll see you in the next video.